Hi, I'm Takesha Hopper. I'm one of the EC teachers here at Yorkchester Middle School. And I just wanted to give you some information about small groups that I work with every single day. I wanted to tell you that I'm an inclusion teacher, actually co-teacher with the regular ed teachers. And what I do in those small groups is phenomenal. I actually go in those classrooms and in small groups with students. It may be 4 to 5 students, and we do some rotations. And what I've utilized with those students and what has been effective is that I build a rapport with those students. Those students become familiar with my teaching style. They actually open up. Those that are very quiet, they seem to open up in those small groups. They actually participate because I am about making sure that they do participate in their academic learning. You can do different differentiations with those students, those struggling students that have problems maybe with reading. Those struggles, they seem to open up. So what I have noticed as a teacher, I have grown. When I do those lesson plans, and myself and the co-teacher, when we come together and collaborate, I have noticed that I'm growing as a teacher as well because I'm a beginning teacher. I started last year, January of 2017, so I am very new myself. They work well with each other. They learn from one another. And I've also learned that small groups is effective to the point where it's almost like you become a team. So becoming a team in that classroom, there's less behaviors, but there's learning, there's active learning. And I'm so excited about small groups.
I enjoy doing small math groups and individual work with them so that we can go over objectives that they may have struggled with during a whole group setting or maybe were afraid to ask me about. We can work individually on problems that they were
Each section of the band is divided into its own small group according to the instruments the students play. So it kind of by natural design, we do small groups automatically. Each section kind of has a leader who kind of, works through the particular part, and he'll help his neighbor if they're missing a rhythm or a pitch or something like that.
I implement small groups in my classroom so that I can have differentiation for all my students, and it gives me more one-on-one time with the students that need it. It also gives me a chance to implement activities that I wouldn't have time to during whole group instruction.
I use small group instruction in my classroom because our students are social creatures and they want to interact and collaborate with each other. I think that small group instruction needs to always coincide with a tangible outcome. Students need a structured task to complete, similar to how colleagues can have good conversations in PLCs when they focus on the task at hand. I think the same thing can be mimicked for students.
Hi, I just want to take a second to tell you why I like small groups. First of all, this year I'm not quite into small groups yet. Sometimes it does take a while to get your class ready for small groups and to get to the point where you're comfortable or the kids are comfortable with it. But once you get to use small groups, it's just a great way for your kids to be more active, more engaged, and collaborate. I've done groups very different ways. I've had 4 groups going at one time. One group was actually a technology group, and if you're familiar with iReady, one group was the tutorial section where they actually watch the tutorial. The next group may be where they are matching something, and then another group would be myself, and that would be where I'm actually working on the skill that we're currently working on, and we can ask questions. And it's a little more, it's obviously smaller, and they're sometimes more apt to ask questions.
I really love small groups because it gives me time to work individually with my students on specific skills, and it's really easy to differentiate in the classroom when I'm pulling a small group on something that I know that they didn't get but other students may have already gotten.
Hi, my name is Erica Littlejohn, and I teach 6th grade at Yorkchester Middle School. Our kids come to us at all different ability levels, and so it's really important for us to reach them where they are and for them to feel successful. And so small group instruction allows for that. We are able to go in and teach them skills to help them grow and to help them get to a point where they should be. Also, it helps build a relationship with our students. It helps our students know that we are wanting them to be successful, and we can kind of get to them in a more intimate level versus being in a whole group with 25 kids. We can reach them in a group 4 or 5, and so we can actually see, what they're struggling with one-on-one. So small group instruction is the driving force of what we teach and why we teach.